Market conditions continue to be bullish in this bull market. Let's look at some of the short terms. Well, let's jump back up here in like 2192 on the rank. Continuing to see this just tick up a little bit, kind of flattening right here with a little bit of the consolidation going on in the market. We're also seeing momentum pulling back inside of that bullish trend. As mentioned before, that typically is going to go from bullish trend to extreme and back again in an uptrend. That's what we want to see. And that's what's happening here as of right now. We've had that really nice breakout on most market indices, and they potentially could be tested. Had some nice earning report from NVIDIA last night, but also had some FOMC minutes that may have moved the market. We did see bonds. Let me jump over to buy-sell ratio first, and let's talk about this. We've got 1.66. We're seeing a little bit of weakening here in buy-sell ratio as those two are coming back together again a little bit right here, and this overall uptrend. So we have green above red, which is a buy-sell ratio of 1, and but pulling back just a little bit, we've got this upper range of sentiment. We haven't reached that 85 range yet, and this pullback right here looks like it should be just a retracement back to this, this 525 line. We actually got a decent little bullish buy, a tail bar right there, some support happening, a little couple of tail bars happening, and we should find support right here at this 525 range if we do pull back. Again, if not, and we start to reverse, that's an area that would be a pattern that we would want to really be paying attention to. But as of right now, we're still holding this upper support line, and we'll see what today brings. The bonds on short-term bonds, that SHY, you can see it just ticked down just a little bit here as well. Not too much, still in that upper momentum zone, but needs to now start to find some support in this range. We talked about this bottoming pattern. If we can get some new higher lows starting to happen right here to continue this overall trend higher, that's ultimately what the market needs, is for bonds to start to go back up again. That means interest rates to be coming back down. SHY, or excuse me, not SHY, but TLT, not quite as much of a retracement, kind of flat actually yesterday. So we want to see this as well. This is that basing process, again, at a little bit of a higher low, beginning the early phases of this trend. It's got a nasty downtrend in place, but it's got to fight a little bit to get back up above these levels. And so that's what we'll be cheering for here this week, as bonds are, and interest rates and inflation and all of that is still really the major talking point right here. Sectors we saw just weakening just a little bit here. We're seeing a few that are moving back into that downtrend range. Shorter term downtrends are also starting to show up here. So getting a little bit of waffling here in this current trend. Continuing to see commodities do quite well. Silver, a little bit of a pullback here. This is also, again, it's had just a really huge run up here. So it's now we're in the momentum zone. Retracing back down, watching for 27 on SLV for any kind of a retracement. And let's see what gold did yesterday as well. Looks like it's also retracing. So a little bit of a pullback here in gold, natural location for it to be happening in that upper range. And we'll see if we get any follow through to the downside or the upside. USO, oil continuing to weaken here as well. So some weakening across the board in commodities, USO and gold and silver at least. Let's look to see what copper was doing. And pretty nasty sell-off. That's actually pretty interesting. But again, within that overall uptrend, not surprising to see that happening on those commodities. Let's jump over to the muscle stocks group, and not seeing a whole lot in that list today, as a lot of stocks are already in new uptrends or downtrends or consolidating. There are a few that are interesting here. AZEK in that upper range. Construction continue to hold up nicely and to be strong. And ARVN, interesting pattern here towards the bottom end of that range. Go out to that 1 year time frame. It's now in that counter trend corrective zone, this 382-618 range, when a stock can bottom out right here and then begin a new uptrend on nice volume. That's also a interesting stock today in that list. And then there were also, we're seeing cryptocurrencies and different things happening here as well. Bitfarm's not 100% sure on if that is in fact a crypto miner, but more than like that chart pattern looks a lot like those others as well. Those are starting to show up in these scans as well. So that'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.